The Titanomachy, an epic battle for Olympus. Welcome to our channel. Today, we embark on an incredible journey through ancient Greek mythology to uncover the story of one of the greatest battles ever recorded in legend, the Titanomachy. This monumental conflict determined the fate of the universe, decided who would rule the cosmos, and became a symbol of a new era replacing the old. What makes the Titanomachy so significant? It is more than just a myth about war. It is a tale of the clash between the old and the new, a struggle between generations of gods and the establishment of order from chaos. This myth shaped the ancient Greeks' understanding of power, justice, and the inevitability of change. Imagine a world where immortal titans reign over the elements, only to be challenged by younger gods armed not just with strength, but also with cunning. For 10 long years, the universe trembled as their battle raged. Lightning tore through the skies, and the earth quaked under the blows of giants. Who fought on the side of the Titans? How did Zeus and his brothers achieve victory? What fateful decisions were made after this war? Today, we will explore all the key moments of this myth and dive into an age when the fate of Olympus hung in the balance. Get comfortable, because ahead lies a captivating tale of a divine war that changed the world forever. Chapter 1. The Prelude to Conflict. Before the dawn of time, before the birth of the gods, there was only chaos, an endless primordial abyss filled with formless energy. From this void emerged the first cosmic forces: Gaia, Earth; Tartarus, the abyss; Nyx, night; Erebus, darkness; and Eros, love. Each of these primordial deities embodied fundamental aspects of existence, but it was Gaia who played the most crucial role in the creation of the world. Gaia, the personification of Earth, was the first to bring forth offspring without the involvement of a male counterpart. She gave birth to Uranus, who became the sky and stretched across her vast expanse. Yet Gaia felt incomplete without a partner, and so she united with Uranus, giving rise to the first generation of gods, the Titans. The Titans were the original rulers of the cosmos. There were 12 of them, but several stood out in particular. Cronus, the youngest, yet the most cunning and ambitious. Oceanus, the sovereign of the vast, encircling waters. Hyperion, the god of light, father of the sun, moon, and dawn. Iapetus, the forefather of powerful heroes, including Prometheus. Theia, the goddess of radiance, mother of Helios and Selene. Rhea, the future mother of the Olympians, goddess of fertility. In addition to the Titans, Gaia and Uranus brought forth other formidable beings, the Cyclopes and the Hecatonchyres. The Cyclopes were gigantic beings with a single eye in the middle of their foreheads, endowed with immense strength. Even more terrifying were the Hecatonchyres, or the 100-handed giants, each possessing 50 heads and 100 arms, making them the most fearsome creatures of all. Uranus soon grew fearful of his children, recognizing their immense power. He was particularly wary of the Cyclops and Hecatonchyres, whose destructive strength posed a threat to his dominion. Determined to prevent any uprising, he cast them into the depths of the earth, imprisoning them within Tartarus, the darkest and most dreadful place in existence, deeper even than Hades itself. This act of cruelty ignited Gaia's fury against her husband. Unable to accept the suffering of her children, she sought a way to overthrow the tyrannical ruler. She turned to the Titans for aid, but many feared Uranus's wrath and dared not oppose him. Only Cronus, the youngest and most ambitious of the Titans, stepped forward to carry out his mother's will. Gaia forged for him a sickle of adamant, an indestructible divine metal. When Uranus descended to the earth once more, Cronus lay in wait, and with a swift strike of the sickle, castrated him. This marked the end of Uranus's reign. From the blood of the wounded Uranus, which spilled upon the earth, powerful beings were born. The Erinyes, relentless goddesses of vengeance, the giants, mighty warriors who would one day rise against the Olympians, the Meliae nymphs of the ash trees, harbingers of war. With his last breath, Uranus uttered a prophecy to Cronus. His voice was weak, but foreboding. "You will share my fate. One of your children will overthrow you." These words struck deep into Cronus's heart, filling his mind with fear. Having dethroned Uranus, Cronus became the new ruler of the cosmos. Alongside his sister and wife Rhea, he ascended the throne and proclaimed a new era, the Golden Age. During this time, mortals lived free from hardship. There were no wars, no hunger, no disease. The land yielded its bounty without toil, and humanity knew only peace. Yet, despite this outward prosperity, Cronus himself was plagued by anxiety. He could not forget his father's prophecy, and fear of losing power consumed him. To prevent the prophecy from coming true, Cronus made a terrible decision. He would destroy each of his children before they could grow strong enough to challenge him. The moment Rhea gave birth to a child, he swallowed it whole, denying it any chance to rise against him. Thus, he devoured Hestia, Demeter, Hera, Hades, and Poseidon. Rhea was devastated. She could not bear to see her children suffer this fate, yet she feared openly defying her husband. But when she became pregnant once more, she resolved to deceive him. Chapter 2. Preparing for War. As an infant, Zeus was saved thanks to the cunning of his mother Rhea. She tricked Cronus by giving him a stone wrapped in swaddling clothes while secretly sending the real child to the island of Crete. There, he was hidden in a deep cave on Mount Dicte, where nymphs cared for and protected him from all dangers. One of the most crucial beings responsible for Zeus's survival was the goat Amalthea, a mythical creature whose milk made a future ruler of Olympus strong and resilient. According to legend, while playing with her, Zeus accidentally broke one of her horns. In gratitude for her care, he endowed the horn with magical power, creating the cornucopia, a symbol of endless wealth and abundance. To conceal the infant's cries from Cronus, the nymphs summoned the Curetes, warriors who clashed their swords against their shields to drown out any sound from the cave. Thus, Zeus grew up in secrecy, growing stronger and wiser, until the time came to overthrow the unjust ruler of the world. After many years spent in the hidden cave of Crete, Zeus finally matured. He had become strong, courageous, and determined, knowing that his destiny was to overthrow Cronus and free the world from the tyranny of the Titans. However, bravery alone was not enough. Before challenging his mighty father, the young god had to gather allies and prepare for the coming battle. The first step toward Cronus's downfall was to free his swallowed children. Zeus understood that he could not face the powerful Titan alone. He needed allies who had a rightful claim to power. According to one version of the myth, he was aided by the Titaness Métis, the goddess of wisdom and cunning. She prepared a special potion designed to force Cronus to regurgitate the children he had swallowed. Disguising himself as a servant, Zeus infiltrated the Titan's palace and mixed the potion into his wine. When Cronus drank it, he was overcome with violent nausea and began vomiting up his children one by one, Hestia, Demeter, Hera, Hades, and Poseidon. Though they had spent long years imprisoned inside Cronus, the gods emerged fully grown and filled with a burning desire for revenge. They immediately recognized Zeus as their leader and swore to support him in the coming war. However, the support of his siblings alone was not enough. The Olympians were about to face the mighty Titan army, which outnumbered them in both strength and experience. They needed even more powerful allies. Zeus knew that deep in Tartarus, the darkest abyss of the underworld, powerful beings were imprisoned, cast there unjustly by Uranus. These were the Cyclops and the Titanomachy, monstrous creatures of incredible might. Cyclops, one-eyed giants skilled in the art of blacksmithing, known for their ability to forge powerful weapons for the gods. Titanomachy, gigantic beings with 100 hands and 50 heads, so powerful that even the Titans feared them. Following the example of his father Uranus, Cronus had left these creatures imprisoned in Tartarus, fearing their strength. But Zeus saw them not as a threat, but as formidable allies. He ventured into the dark depths of the underworld, defeated the monstrous guardian of Tartarus, Campe, and shattered the chains of the captives. In gratitude for their liberation, the Cyclops forged 3 legendary weapons for the Olympians, each of which would play a decisive role in the coming war. For Zeus, thunder and lightning, a devastating weapon capable of incinerating enemies and striking down Titans with celestial fire. For Poseidon, a mighty trident, granting him dominion over the seas and the power to unleash destructive earthquakes. For Hades, the helm of invisibility, allowing him to become unseen by his foes and instill them with mortal terror. The Titanomachy, with their 100 hands, swore allegiance to the Olympians, vowing to hurl boulders at the Titans and crush them in battle. Zeus did not stop at freeing the prisoners of Tartarus. He actively sought support among other Titans and deities who were dissatisfied with Cronus's rule. Some Titans chose neutrality or even sided with the Olympians. Among them was Oceanus and his daughter Styx, the goddess of oaths. Styx brought her children, Nike, victory, Zealous, zeal, Kratos, might, and Bia, force, to Zeus's ranks, strengthening his army. Other ancient deities, such as Prometheus and his brother Epimetheus, also joined the rebellion, foreseeing that Zeus's victory would bring greater order and justice to the world. Zeus assembled his army, divided his allies into units, and devised a strategy. He knew that a direct assault on the Titans would be suicidal, as they possessed immense power and experience. Instead, he planned to wear them down, striking from multiple fronts, weakening their defenses, and splitting their forces. Among the Titans who stood with Cronus were Atlas, Hyperion, Coeus, Creus, and Iapetus. They believed in their invincibility, for until now no one had dared to challenge them. But times had changed. The Olympians were armed, battle-hardened, and ready for the great war. Zeus's thunderbolts already split the skies, the seas roared under Poseidon's command, and in the shadows Hades waited, prepared to strike at the heart of the enemy. A great war was inevitable. Thus began the Titanomachy, an epic battle that would decide the fate of the gods and the cosmos itself. Chapter 3. The Height of the Titanomachy, the Great Battle of the Gods. After many years of intense preparation, gathering allies, and fierce battles, the decisive moment in the war between the Titans and the Olympians had arrived, the Titanomachy. This great conflict, which lasted for 10 years, engulfed the entire world, turning it into an arena of destruction, chaos, and a colossal struggle between 2 generations of gods. When Zeus, Poseidon, and Hades declared open war on the Titans, the world trembled. Though the Olympians were younger than their foes, they possessed immense power and were led by Zeus, the most formidable among them. Unlike the Titans, who relied on brute strength and numerical superiority, Zeus acted strategically, understanding that victory could only be achieved through both force and cunning. At the outset of the battle, the Olympians took their positions on Mount Olympus, while the Titans fortified themselves on Mount Othrys. The thunderous cries of war echoed throughout the universe. The blows of the Titans shook the earth. The oceans raged, and the sky was torn apart by lightning. The Titans' forces were led by Atlas, one of the most powerful sons of Iapetus. Not only was he a formidable warrior, but he was also a brilliant strategist who orchestrated devastating assaults against the Olympians. Fighting alongside him were mighty Hyperion, Coos, Iapetus, and Creus, along with their countless offspring. They wielded overwhelming power, striving to crush the younger gods once and for all. However, not all Titans took part in the war. Oceanus, the personification of the great cosmic river, chose to remain neutral and refrained from intervening. His wife, Tethys, also abstained from the battle, siding with peace and order. Perhaps they understood that their involvement would not change the war's outcome, or they simply wished to avoid destruction. The entire universe trembled under the gods' blows. The battlefield was engulfed in fire and lightning, and the deafening sounds of battle resounded across the world. The Titans sought to wield their elemental might, hurling mountains, casting enormous boulders, and shaking the earth itself. But the Olympians, armed with newfound powers, stood firm. Zeus stood at the heart of the battle, unleashing lightning bolts that shattered the sky and struck down the Titans. Poseidon, with mighty strikes of his trident, summoned devastating tsunamis that toppled the Titans and demolished their fortifications. Hades, concealed by his helm of invisibility, ambushed his enemies when they least expected it. The tide of war shifted dramatically when the Hecatoncheires joined the battle. With their 100 hands, they hurled boulders by the hundreds, crashing down upon the Titans like an unstoppable avalanche. Their blows were so overwhelming that even the mightiest of the Titans could not withstand them. One by one, the Titans fell. Zeus's lightning ravaged the battlefield, while the colossal stones hurled by the Hecatoncheires shattered their defenses. Poseidon shook the earth, creating deep chasms that swallowed Titan warriors whole. After 10 years of relentless warfare, the Titans' strength was broken. Their defenses crumbled, and their numbers dwindled. The final decisive clash took place at the very foot of Mount Olympus, where the Olympians and their allies faced the remnants of the Titans' army. Atlas, desperately trying to hold the line, launched his last attacks. But as he watched his comrades fall one after another, he was forced to retreat. The Titans began to fall in rapid succession. Hyperion was struck down, Iapetus was gravely wounded, and Creus was disarmed. When Zeus raised his lightning bolt for the final time, the sky blazed with a blinding light, and a catastrophic explosion sealed the fate of the remaining Titans. Realizing their defeat, the Titans had no choice but to surrender. Zeus, now the undisputed ruler of the universe, resolved to eliminate any chance of another rebellion once and for all. Chapter 4. The Aftermath of the Battle and Its Consequences. The victory of the Olympians in the Titanomachy reshaped the course of cosmic history. After 10 years of fierce battles, the war ended with the crushing defeat of the Titans, and Zeus firmly established his dominion over the world. But victory was not the ultimate goal. There remained the task of deciding the fate of the defeated and creating a new order that would bring stability and harmony to the universe. The primary question facing Zeus and his allies was what to do with the captured Titans. They were too powerful to be left unchecked, yet total annihilation was impossible. After all, the Titans were born from the very fabric of the cosmos, as fundamental as the elements themselves. After much deliberation, Zeus decided to imprison the defeated Titans in Tartarus, the deepest, darkest, and most desolate place in the underworld. According to ancient Greek descriptions, Tartarus lay so far beneath the Earth's surface that it would take an anvil 9 days and nights to reach its depths. This was a realm of eternal darkness, surrounded by triple layers of bronze walls and guarded by the 100-handed Hecatonchires, whose hatred for the Titans remained unyielding from the moment of their imprisonment. All Titans who had actively participated in the war, Crius, Coeus, Iapetus, Hyperion, and Cronus himself, were bound in chains and cast into this abyss. From that moment on, they remained motionless in utter darkness, imprisoned behind walls with no escape. However, not all Titans shared this fate. Oceanus, who had not taken part in the war, remained free and retained his dominion over the world's waters. His wife, Tethys, was also spared and continued her peaceful existence. One of the most formidable Titans was Atlas, the son of Iapetus, renowned for his immense strength and endurance. He not only fought in the front lines of the Titans' army, but also played a crucial role in their military strategy. For his unwavering loyalty to Cronus and his relentless resistance against the Olympians, Atlas received a unique punishment. Unlike the other Titans, he was not cast into Tartarus. Instead, Zeus condemned him to an eternal burden. Atlas was forced to hold up the sky upon his shoulders. This punishment was not only physical, but also symbolic, serving as a lasting reminder of the Titans' ultimate defeat and the downfall of the old order. The Greeks believed that Atlas stood at the edge of the world in the far west, near the Garden of the Hesperides, where the legendary golden apple tree grew. His fate became one of the most famous in mythology, and even the great hero Heracles encountered him during his labors, briefly relieving the Titan of his burden. Yet, even after this temporary respite, Atlas was forced to take up the celestial dome once more, as it was his eternal punishment. Following their victory, the Olympians had to establish a new order to replace the chaos and destruction left in the war's wake. The most significant decision was the division of power among the three principal brothers, Zeus, Poseidon, and Hades. To avoid disputes and potential conflicts, the gods decided their fates by casting lots. Zeus drew the heavens and became the supreme ruler of both gods and mortals. He took on the responsibility of maintaining order in the universe, dispensing justice, and punishing those who violated divine law. Poseidon was granted dominion over the seas and all bodies of water. He became the lord of oceans, rivers, and springs, and was also endowed with the power to cause earthquakes. Hades received the underworld, the realm of the dead, where the souls of the departed resided. He became the ruler of this shadowy kingdom, where strict laws and order prevailed. Although Zeus was considered the chief among the gods, Poseidon and Hades were powerful rulers in their own domains. Together, they governed the cosmos, establishing a divine order in which each had his rightful place. After the Titanomachy, the Olympians actively worked to consolidate their rule. Unlike the Titans, who had governed through brute force, the new generation of gods sought to create a more harmonious world. Zeus established his throne atop Mount Olympus, from where he observed the world and issued laws. Around him gathered other deities, Hera, his wife, and goddess of marriage; Athena, the goddess of wisdom and strategy; Apollo, the patron of music, light, and prophecy; Artemis, the goddess of the hunt; Hephaestus, the master craftsman; Ares, the god of war, and many others. Olympus became the center of divine power and governance. To prevent future rebellions, Zeus also enacted strict laws for both gods and mortals. He punished those who defied his authority, but rewarded those who upheld his order. The Titanomachy also left a lasting impact on the mortal world. Though humanity was only beginning to emerge during this time, the ancient Greeks believed that the war of the gods had influenced their destiny. It was thought that during the battle, the earth trembled, mountains crumbled, and the seas surged beyond their shores. Some even believed that Zeus's thunder and lightning permanently altered the climate, making it harsher. With the Olympians' victory, a new era began, the Age of Zeus, in which mortals received greater attention from the gods. The Olympians began to intervene in human affairs, granting them knowledge, crafts, and order. It was during this time, according to myth, that Prometheus gave fire to humanity, an act for which he was severely punished by Zeus. The Olympians' triumph in the Titanomachy marked the end of the old order and the dawn of a new era. The Titans were overthrown, and their rule became nothing more than a memory. Led by Zeus, the Olympians established laws that would govern the universe henceforth, yet the Titans' influence did not vanish entirely. Their descendants continued to play roles in mythology, and some, like Prometheus, even challenged the new order. Nevertheless, the war was a turning point in mythological history. It demonstrated that even the mightiest of gods could fall when faced with a force capable of reshaping the fate of the world itself. Chapter 5. The Significance of the Titanomachy. The Titanomachy is more than just a tale of war between gods. This myth represents a fundamental worldview of the ancient Greeks regarding the nature of power, the inevitability of generational change, and the struggle between chaos and order. It reflects the philosophical, religious, and cultural ideas that shaped how the ancient Greeks perceived the world. The victory of the Olympians over the Titans was not random. It symbolized the establishment of a more complex and organized cosmic order where reason and justice replaced brute force and anarchy. This mythological conflict influenced not only Greek religious beliefs but also art, literature, and philosophy, leaving an indelible mark on human culture. Ancient Greek mythology is built on the concept of power transitions and the cyclical nature of the universe. The Greeks believed that the cosmos evolved through distinct stages, each characterized by a struggle between different forces. The reign of Uranus, an era of primordial chaos, where the sky god ruled harshly and mercilessly, suppressing his Titan offspring. The reign of Cronus, a time of change, but also of instability and cruelty, as he himself became a usurper of power. The reign of Zeus, the final stabilization of the world, establishing a new cosmic order based on law and justice. Thus, the Titanomachy represents one of the most crucial transitions, from the rule of the ancient primordial deities to the Olympian pantheon, which introduced new principles of governance. Greek mythology often portrays the universe as a battleground between chaos and order. In this sense, the Titans embodied the raw, untamed forces of nature, while the Olympians represented reason, civilization, and controlled power. The Titans were associated with the primal elements of the world, Cronus with relentless time, Oceanus with the restless waters, and Hyperion with the uncontrollable light of the sun. Their power was ancient, but lacked structure. The Olympians, in contrast, brought order. Zeus governed the laws, Poseidon controlled the seas, and Hades established strict order in the underworld. Their victory signified that the world would no longer be ruled by chaotic forces. The Titanomachy, therefore, can be interpreted as an ancient Greek version of the universal theme of reason triumphing over untamed natural forces, a concept that appears in many other cultures as well. The Titanomachy as a reflection of progress. The myth of the Titanomachy also embodies the idea of inevitable progress. The world evolves, old orders are replaced by new ones, and each generation brings a different form of governance. This theme parallels human history, where societies gradually become more structured and governance grows increasingly complex. The influence of the Titanomachy extends beyond mythology, leaving a lasting impact on ancient Greek art and literature. Hesiod, in Theogony, provides the most detailed account of the battle between the Titans and the Olympians, making it one of the central myths of Greek cosmology. Homer, in the Iliad and Odyssey, frequently refers to Zeus as the supreme ruler, emphasizing his role in establishing order after the chaos of the Titanomachy. Later tragedians, such as Aeschylus, incorporated the theme of generational conflict among gods into their plays, creating profound philosophical works on the nature of power. The myth of the Titanomachy was a frequent subject in ancient Greek sculpture and vase painting. One of the most famous depictions is the relief from the Pergamon altar, which vividly portrays the battle between the Olympians and the Titans in a series of dynamic and dramatic scenes. Through its themes of power, order, and progress, the Titanomachy remains one of the most significant myths in ancient Greek thought, reflecting their understanding of the universe and the eternal struggle between chaos and civilization. Conclusion: the timeless relevance of the myth. The Titanomachy is not just an ancient myth, it is a profound philosophical narrative about the nature of power, progress, and fate. It remains one of the most fundamental stories in Greek mythology, leaving a lasting impact on the culture and worldview of the ancient world. The battle between the Titans and the Olympians reflected the Greek understanding of the cosmos. Order always triumphs over chaos, but this victory is never final. The cycle of power is inevitable. Each generation brings new ideas and laws, and the struggle between the old and the new repeats itself time and again. This is why the myth of the Titanomachy remains relevant even today. It reminds us that change is a natural part of existence, and that the conflict between outdated systems and new ideas is an inseparable part of human history. If you found this interesting, don't forget to like the video, subscribe to the channel, and let me know in the comments which myths you'd like to learn more about. See you next time.